videos in one day. What's going on? The Trinidad vlog needed an annex. It needed an addendum, okay? A lot of things happened in Trinidad that I didn't want to go into in that vlog just because I didn't want my experience to taint the whole of Trinidad Carnival for you guys. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to make a video about Trinidad Carnival my first time and I was just like, oh, it was shit, this happened and that happened and I had such a bad experience. No, I was determined to make lemonade out of lemons, okay? If life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So yes, overall, I did have a good time in Trinidad, but that was because I was determined to have a good time. I was determined not to let everything that was going on spoil my general first impression of Trinidad Carnival. So we all know that I'm a YouTuber, I'm an influencer, I don't like that word, but content creator is what I would categorize myself as. And lately I've been traveling a lot and I go to a lot of carnivals and usually I am working. Yes, this is work. I am either a brand ambassador for the carnival band or reviewing a service or reviewing the carnival in general and bringing that content to you guys so you guys can decide for yourself whether or not you would like to go to those carnivals. So one of my friends, Sonny Turner, invited me to apply for a brand ambassadorship with Dtravel. They are a concierge service that takes care of everything that you need while you're at Carnival. What they basically do is that you pay them one lump sum and they get you your accommodation, your transport, your carnival costumes, events, everything that you need, they cover. You have nothing to stress about when you get there. Also, it's supposed to be with a luxury travel concierge. So she put me in touch with this guy called Dwayne Duborough, who's supposed to be the director owner of Dtravel Plug, and we got to discussing and negotiating a contract of things that were to be delivered. And in return, we review the service of 2020, and if we like the service, we go to promote it and pop it onto our platforms for 2021. He had already had his customers in place for 2020. Remember that Trinidad Carnival is in February. They start planning for the next carnival literally after one has been completed. We came along in December, so packages and everything were already sold to the 2020 revelers and customers. Before I got there, everything seemed very legit. He seemed like a very good businessman. He was always traveling all over the world. Seemed to be always well dressed from what I could see off of his display pictures and his Instagram. They were asking all the right questions, sending all the right documents over, sent reviews from the last year where he brought 50 revelers in 2019, and this year he was upping to 100, and next year he wanted to go even bigger and better for 2021. That's why he included influencers for 2020. Every proposal and idea that we discussed in the meeting, he always said that he'd need to discuss with the rest of the team. So it seemed that he had a team of people who worked with him. So I never thought anything of it. Also, I've done a lot of carnival business and usually this is how it's conducted, so I didn't have any qualms. I'm just pausing the video to bring this quick comment. I know somebody's going to say something like, well, they're a new company, should have known better, or people should know better not to trust new places. But new and upcoming companies do need a chance. Talent needs to be discovered. And that is exactly what my job as an influencer is, to scout out new things for you guys, review it, and give you guys my impression so that it helps you guys with your research and you guys can go off and decide for yourselves if you actually want to spend your money on that product. As soon as we landed in Trinidad, he had already called us to make sure that we had arrived safely. The car was waiting for us. We got some dinner and then we were dropped off at our villa. Now, initially, all 9 influencers, all 9 influencers were supposed to be staying together in one compound in, I think, Chagaramas. I think that's where we were supposed to be staying, or in Port of Spain, somewhere. What actually happened is that he put all the UK influencers together. So me, Sonny, and Josh ended up staying together. And he gave us our own villa because I was filming for YouTube, so he wanted people to see what you could get. Because let me tell you, Trinidad is very expensive around carnival time, and you could probably end up staying in a shoebox for about 5,000 US, okay? Because it's just that expensive and there's not a lot of rooms available when it's so popular. So he wanted people to really see what he was selling, which was supposedly this amazing luxury experience, get luxury villa with a pool, 3 bedrooms, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, blah, 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 blah. We got there on the 17th. That was a Monday. That was Marshall Monday. Monday and Tuesday were our free time. Dtravel Plug promotions didn't start until the 18th, which was Wednesday, until Carnival. Okay, he had a whole list of events that we were supposed to go to and certain lists of things that we were supposed to cover for social media. Monday and Tuesday, everything was smooth sailing. We weren't on his schedule, so we didn't really expect him to check up on us. However, he still brought us food. He brought us breakfast. He was being really nice on the Monday, getting everything done. Wednesday came, the day everything was supposed to start, and there was no word from Dwayne or anyone at Dtravel Plug. It was just radio silence. We didn't know. We missed the events that we were meant to be going to. We had no communication. We had no driver. We were out in the middle of nowhere in Diego Martin. And getting a ride share in the middle of Carnival is long. And the only reason why we even knew to get a ride share or any way of how Trinidad works is because we had friends from Trinidad who we could call and ask, hey, can we do this? What, like, we haven't heard from our concierge. How do we get this? How do we do this? We are starting to get a bit worried, but we're not thinking too much of it because sometimes things go wrong. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's had a really busy day with customers. We'll give it until later in the evening. So we just did our own thing for the day. Cue Wednesday night. There's a knock on the front door of the villa. We open the door and it's the landlord. The landlord is standing outside the villa, staring us down like, hi. He's really nice. He was really, really nice. How are you guys? I just wanted to see who was here. So we're thinking, oh, okay, hi, nice to meet you. Just wanted to see your tenants. Okay, cool. We're not gonna break anything, don't worry. And then he informs us that actually Dtravel Plug, Dwayne, has not paid for the villa. And so he doesn't want to alarm us, but he can't get a hold of Dwayne. Nobody can get a hold of Dwayne. I'm laughing and smiling because of the sheer ridiculousness of this, not because it's a happy moment or it's, you know, something to laugh and smile and joke about. It's just like incredulous to me. My camera ended up dying, so I'm using my phone now. I'm hoping the quality won't be bad, but let me finish telling you guys the story real quick, okay? Because I'm taking quite long. So yeah, we're waiting for Dwayne to come and tell us what in the Fire Festival is going on here, and the landlord Josh and Rooney are both sitting here, and we're all looking at each other like, well, what's gonna happen? We don't know. Dwayne comes to the villa finally after about 3 hours, and he states the reason why everything has been held up is because the banks have not cleared the funds that he's received from all his customers because they require further information from him as to where the funds are coming from, because it's quite a lot of money. How it could be that your funds are held up in a bank when you knew Carnival was coming? Like, this is not new to you. You've done it before. You've been a concierge before, so you should know how the funds are going to be cleared, when they're going to be cleared, and all of this should have been in place way before it started. Because if funds are being held and it's not been secured, then how have you paid for everything? Clearly you haven't, because otherwise the landlord wouldn't be here. Anywho, so we asked him about the fets and everything, and he stated that, you know, everything is fine. It's just a few hiccups. Everything will be fine by tomorrow. You'll see. We missed a few parties today, but that's okay because none of them were actually really scheduled. They were all optional. Okay, fine. Sonny finally gets to the house at 10, 11 o'clock from being picked up. And then she informs us that actually all the other influencers, the other 6, don't have a place to stay. There's no accommodation for them, so they've been driving around all night looking for like influencers and places for them to stay. So far, all we know is that we, as in the influencers, are the only ones that have an issue. Thursday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, we get up for the event that we're supposed to be scheduled to go to, which is AM Beach. I wake up and there is a text on the phone saying that the event has been cancelled for influencers today due to the issues that occurred yesterday. I wake everyone up and let them know that that's what's happening. And Sonny and I decide, F it, we're here, we're not staying in the house, this is what we came for. Communication after that Thursday morning was severely lacking. Although he didn't do a disappearing act like he did on Wednesday, it was very difficult to get a hold of him or anyone in his team. There was only one other person that I know of that was supposed to be part of the team, which was the publicist who was supposed to be in charge of the influencers, but her availability was very sparse. He was supposed to be dealing with the consumers, the actual customers, revelers, and she was supposed to be dealing with the influencers. We met her at AM Beach for one of the events, and then I don't think we saw her again after that. But she did keep in contact and she was trying to be as helpful as she could. However, once this shit really hit the fan, we got a WhatsApp message from her stating that she was no longer part of this influencer trip because she had other work commitments. I'm guessing she does other stuff with Carnival in regards to Soca Monarch and other things for other publicist things. So, I mean, it's no fault of her own. I'm guessing she's pretty professional and she couldn't deal with the unprofessional way that it was handled. And she just had to focus her efforts on other things. The next day, I think it was Friday, was supposed to be Rise and Jam, Sun Nation, Silent Morning. All these events were going on and we influencers still had no tickets. Again, if we were not well connected and knew people, we would have been our butts in the house, okay? Luckily, Chinelli was there, so I just called her up and I was like, listen, I need tickets for this, this, and this. She knew some people. We got the tickets that we needed. Josh ended up doing the promoter for Silent Morning, so we got that. And I guess the rest of the influencers, they did their own thing. I think some of them already had their own things before Dtravel came along and asked them to be part of the shenanigans. So yeah, me and Rooney ended up going to Rise and Jam and the rest went somewhere else. And Sunny went to Silent Morning, at which point the boat for one of the Silent Morning boats was actually turned around. It wasn't only the Dtravel things that were happening, but just a whole bunch of cursed things were happening in Trinidad. The Silent Morning boat was stopped by police and turned around because it was over capacity. So when I got home, Josh and Sunny was sitting there like, bruh, we already got like 20-30 minutes on the boat, and then the police showed up and turned the boat around. The next event was supposed to be Yuma Erupt, and Dwayne did come through with the Yuma Erupt tickets. He gave us 9 tickets in total, and we ended up having to call all the other influencers. It was like me, Josh, and Sunny were literally like ground zero for everything, and we were calling all the other influencers to let them know what was happening with their tickets, with their costumes, with everything, right? We had to pretty much take over and try and sort out the shit. He did get the tickets for Soca Brainwash, so we went to that event, and we can't complain about Soca Brainwash. That was the best party that we went to. But again, that doesn't detract from the fact that we went through it. At this point, on the Friday/Saturday is when we're starting to find out that it's not just the influencers that are going through it. The customers have not received their goods. They haven't received any of the services that they've paid for. There is no costume for them. They don't have accommodation. There's no transport. We were really like, wow, what is going on? We started receiving DMs from customers asking, hey, have you seen Dwayne? Hey guys, I know you're not part of the Dtravel team, but I know you guys are influencers for them. Have you seen him? Has anyone contacted him? And we have no idea what to say because we have no idea where Dwayne is. We haven't seen him. Nobody knows anything. So at this point, we're just trying to keep customers in the loop and give them as much information as we know. And we ran into a few people at Soca Brainwash who was telling us about their experiences and how they haven't had any accommodation. So that's when it really got real, when we realized, okay, it's not just us, but the customers who have paid money to be here. I mean, we lost money being there because obviously we were meant to be paid for it. We were meant to get certain services and we didn't get them, and we were actually out of pocket instead of being there to provide the service that we were contracted for. But these people actually spent their money for the services and didn't get them. While we were at Soca Brainwash, Dwayne said that he was going to go get our costumes from Yuma. After waiting about an hour and a half, he finally came and we went to the mass camp to go get our costumes. Dwayne was there and he asked the girls to get us our costumes, and once they saw us, they were very accommodating, they were very helpful. So the three of us are sitting in the mass camp waiting for our costumes to be distributed to us, and Dwayne says, I'm coming back, I'm gonna go outside and deliver this costume to a customer. And that was the last we heard of Dwayne that night. Like, he disappeared. He was nowhere to be seen. Mind you, we still didn't get our Juvet packages. The next day, Josh got a DM from the girl that was at the mass camp stating that Dwayne had been arrested. Dwayne had been arrested. Apparently, what we heard was that Dwayne was arrested for fraud. And there's a saying in Trinidad, if you're arrested on Carnival Friday, you're not getting out till Wednesday. We didn't know if it was true or not. We had no way of knowing, but we had no communication with Dwayne. He hadn't been seen on WhatsApp since Saturday night. Cue Sunday afternoon, I get a call from Dwayne's mother telling me that Dwayne had been arrested and that she was dealing with things for him on his behalf. So when I asked what he was arrested for, it was stated that actually he wasn't arrested. What happened was outside the mass camp, two people came up to him who were very angry. One ended up being a off-duty police officer, and one of them was a taxi driver, and it was one of the taxi drivers who he had not paid for driving all these people around. Apparently, the off-duty police officer told him to go to the police station and report himself to fraud squad. My mother told me that he was getting a lawyer and they were going to sort everything out. At this point, I have checked out. Like, I literally don't care about their situation anymore. All I want to know right now is what's happening with the customers. Are they going to get their money back? Are we going to be reimbursed for all the money that we've spent? And you need to apologize to all the customers and try and get them everything that you promised them, or give them a refund. That is it. That is all I'm concerned about, and I don't want to hear any more of this story, and I just want to try and enjoy what I have left of Trinidad and Tobago and not hear about any of this anymore. That obviously wasn't what was going to happen, was it? Anyway, Monday and Tuesday, we did our own thing. We were assuming that Dwayne was still in jail. Wednesday came along, and that's when we heard from Dwayne. He'd been let out, and then he told us the full story of how and why he got arrested. He wanted to speak to us in person. He claimed and told us that there were threats on his life. And so that's why he has been quiet and not coming around. And he wanted to have a meeting with us. And I don't know, but if you have threats on your life in Trinidad and Tobago, more specifically Trinidad, then I personally don't want to be seen with you, in case people think that I am somehow affiliated with you or I'm your family and they try to kidnap me or take me hostage to get to you, and I don't have nothing to do with you. Anyway, Dwayne then gave us a whole breakdown. That was Wednesday. We left on Thursday. I really don't know what happened after that. The last word that we had from Dwayne was that he apologized and that he is sorry for what has transpired, and that he would be giving everybody a refund, including compensation to us. How true that is, how effective he's going to be at holding his word, I don't know. I did see that he did an interview where he stated that he would be giving funds back. I did feel that the interview was a bit too lax, and he seemed very calm given the situation and didn't seem to be taking it as seriously as it actually is. Like, even when he was talking to us, he kept mentioning all the issues that he had were, oh, just a few hiccups. Then we just had a few hiccups here and there. No, you haven't had a few hiccups. You've had serious issues, and now you're in jail. That's not a hiccup. In any case, I do hope that he gives back the money to the people who have spent serious money. I personally, the compensation that he states that he's gonna give, I don't think I'm gonna see that anytime soon. So I'm not even gonna worry my head about it. I really don't. I just want to be done with it. But I really hope that he takes the advice that I gave him and refunds everyone their money and just cancels the concierge services that he has or he's trying to have for 2021. I really hope that he doesn't try to rebrand or come under another name, because right now his reputation is in tatters. I mean, everybody can have a comeback story. Every business can go downhill and come back from it. But if people see your business as a fraud or a scam, then it's hard to come back from that. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but I don't know many people who would trust him after this. So when I said that my experience in Trinidad, I was dealing with a lot and I've noticed some interesting things, a lot of people thought I was talking about the clique culture or the colorism that happens at Trinidad Carnival. No, that's not what I was dealing with at all. Like, yeah, those things exist, and with every carnival or with everything that is bright and light and beautiful, there's always a dark side to it as well. Yes, there is colorism amongst revelers, amongst promoters, amongst business in TNT, especially when it comes to photographers who want to take photos of like the lighter skinned girls. Let's put it this way, light skinned women in TNT get a lot of attention, and if you look at photos and flyers and promotions for any event, you'd assume that Trinidad TNT is just full of light skinned or Indian-y looking people, which is not the case at all. There are a lot of black people in TNT, but apparently promoters and photographers, they screen people, and only certain people get to go to parties or get to go to events or whatever. This is what someone said to me in the DMs. I didn't notice the promotion thing, but I do get like the clique culture, because as I said, if we didn't know people, we wouldn't be able to get into places. Everybody wants to go to the parties. Everybody wants a ticket. So when things sell out really quickly, you have to know people to be able to get your tickets in time. I don't really see an issue with that per se, just because I understand carnival culture, and most people who started these parties, when they started the parties, they started them as events for their friends, and then they opened it up to their public, and then the friends weren't even getting tickets because the public were buying them out. So they started checking for their friends first, and then eventually your friend list widens, and so when you're going through a list of people in a party and you see your friends, you tick them off first, right? I don't know what to say to that. I mean, that's most carnivals. The colorism thing, it's sad to say the Caribbean is still kind of back there with the whole colorism thing, and they still favor lighter skin over darker skin, which is just ridiculous. But that doesn't really faze me, because it's just like girls with a big butt, like that's what the photographers want to take photos of, so that's where they go. That's the new trendy thing right now, so that's what they're doing. So if you're light skinned and you have a big butt, you'll probably get a lot of attention in TNT. If you're dark skinned, maybe you have a huge butt, like a big butt, then you get some attention too. I don't know. That wasn't my issue, and I'm sorry that people have faced those kind of issues. It's feeling like everything's destined to die on me today. Maybe that's God telling me just hurry this up and shut up, stop talking. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I hope everybody gets their money back. I hope that my story helped you guys out in some way. Maybe it will help you choose in the future, or know what not to do, or know that I'll just never lie to you guys about something that has happened to me with a company. So yeah, okay, bye.